Texas politics, which you need to know for this new year.
And traffic changes, how to keep driver fatalities down.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to KVR News for Monday, January 26th. I'm Sarah Vasquez.
And I'm David Malley.
This past week was a big week for politics in Texas and throughout the country. After President Obama's State of the Union address, speculation has already started on who potential candidates for the 2016 election. Speculated candidates include Democrats Hillary Clinton, Vice President Joe Biden, and Senator Elizabeth Warren, while speculated Republicans include former Governor of Arkansas Mike Huckabee and former Governor of Florida Jeb Bush.
Other rumored candidates include Governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, former Governor of Massachusetts, Mitt Romney, and junior U.S. Congressman Ted Cruz. Official campaigns can begin June 1st of this year. Last Tuesday, Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick were sworn into their respective offices at the state capitol. As Texas gets the ball rolling with the 84th legislative session, here are 5 things to keep in mind. House Speaker Joe Straus was reelected for a 4th term on January 13th after facing opposition from grassroots leader and Representative Scott Turner. Governor Greg Abbott is the first governor elected in Texas since 2000, taking the place of former Governor Rick Perry. On January 15th, the House announced the new base budget for the upcoming biennium, coming in at more than $200 billion, which is up 0.2%. And hot topics expected this session will be border security, immigration, gun rights, and property taxes. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick emphasized in his last speech Tuesday that funding border security will be done at the highest levels in the state's history.
The number of fatal crashes in Austin decreased in 2014 from years past, down 75 from 83 in 2013. January 2015 is already off to a rocky start with 7 traffic-related deaths just this month. That's 4 more than this time last year. APD Police Chief Art Acevedo encourages drivers to slow down, buckle up, not drink and drive, and be hands-free to keep the number of fatalities low. Speaking of hands-free, January 1st marked the start of Austin's new implemented hands-free ordinance for vehicles and bicycles. This prohibits the use of using cellular devices in hands while operating their vehicle or bike. GPS will also have to now be held up on a dashboard with a mount. With students coming back to Austin, many have expressed their opinions on the new ordinance.
Well, I'm from San Diego, so it's been implemented for like 6 years now. So I think it's a good law, except that I use my GPS.
It really is important for people to pay attention to the road and not have any other distractions with them.
I mean, I use my cell phone all the time, but I think while you're driving, you can put it down for like a couple seconds.
Well, it should make things safer for everyone, but not being able to use a GPS while driving is going to really bum a lot of people out, especially me, because I have no idea where I'm going when I drive.
I don't have my car here right now, but I know like some friends that they can't use their phone anymore, like for GPS, which that's kind of inconvenient. But I think overall, it makes a safer community.
I think anything that makes the community safer and makes people pay more attention to the road is going to be good.
Recent terrorist attacks in Paris, sparked by an article in the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo, have brought people together and raised awareness of the freedom of speech. One of UT's very own was there to witness the protests.
UT student Sam Hayes is studying abroad in Paris, where he witnessed the terrorist attacks sparked by satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo, as well as attended the Unity rally. In an editorial article he wrote to the Daily Texan, Hayes explained his experience. He says that while Muslims he spoke to did not agree with what Charlie Hebdo published, quote, they were going to march in the rally anyway and say Je suis Charlie, because to them, the threat of losing their ability to freely speak their minds and express their beliefs was far greater than the threat of offensive cartoons. The Travesty, UT's very own satirical publication, brings the controversy of freedom of speech in the press to the local university scale.
TSM has been amazing in concerning our freedom of speech. They've never come down on us and asked us to change anything, I don't think it's going to be an issue for us. I think it definitely did provide as a reminder that, like you can be very offensive to people.
But some writers feel like offending people is exactly what satire is supposed to do.
It's kind of critical to our society, and sometimes when something, what happened to Charlie Hebdo and everything, when something like that happens, it kind of makes you stop and appreciate that we get to do this.
Ali Triolo, KVR News.
University of Texas Police believe they now know who is responsible for posing as a nonprofit during last year's home opener football game against North Texas to work the concessions and steal $20,000 from UT. Police tracked down one woman they say left her ID at the game and issued arrest warrants for 3 others, all women from the Houston area. Investigators say the women claimed to be with the groups Little Keys Kids and We're Helping Paws and provided a false certificate of liability insurance. Nonprofits normally work UT games to raise money. Investigators think that this could be part of a larger ring of smaller theft efforts, pointing to a similar incident in San Antonio and an effort by the group to work at the Circuit of the Americas track.
Austin was recently named one of the top 10 richest cities in the United States by USA Today. Using information from Find the Best, the list includes cities with a population of over 500,000 and have the highest percentage of households earning at least $150,000 per year. As well as the salary needed to live comfortably in the city, Austin comes in at number 10 on the list, with only needing $72,000 to live comfortably. Other cities that made the list include New York City, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington, D.C.
Still to come, a new sculpture treading in shaky waters.
And moving delayed again for a group of students.
You're watching KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Temporary permits for the South by Southwest Festival have been reduced this year by the City of Austin and Austin Center for Events. Due to the growth of the festival's attendance and safety reasons, ACE reduced the number of parking permits by 25%. ACE says temporary event permits are almost reaching capacity and will possibly close permit purchases near the beginning of February. In addition to the permit changes, ACE will also make restrictions on how late or loud festival venues can play.
Filing for candidacy in this spring student body election has begun. The deadline to file for student government, graduate student assembly, university unions, and university co-op positions is February 17th. The deadline for Texas student media positions is February 2nd. All positions will be voted on by the student body in the general election on March 4th and 5th. Some of the more sought-after positions include student body and graduate student assembly president and vice president, student government representative spots, and Daily Texan editor-in-chief.
The new sculpture in front of the Norman Hackerman building is causing buzz around campus. Made of more than 70 canoes and boats, the 50-foot sculpture titled Monochrome for Austin, created by installation artist Nancy Rubens, is the latest in the university's public arts program. Several students have created a petition asking that they be repaid for the money they speculate has been used to purchase the sculpture. We talked to students about their opinion on the work.
I think it's a really neat addition to campus. Nancy Rubens is the artist, and she's a pretty well-known contemporary artist, and the Landmarks collection as a whole is a pretty prestigious collection on campus that not a lot of people know about all of the sculptures.
Why on earth would we need a sculpture based on canoes or kayaking? We're like, that doesn't make any sense.
I think it's really creative. I think you can see a lot of emotion to it, and I like seeing it.
It's a very beautiful piece of art.
I like it.
It's nice to see such an extravagant piece on campus.
And it looks like a bunch of aluminum canoes kind of made into a tree.
I think it's awesome. I think it's really neat. It's different, fun to look at.
I like it. When I look at it, to me, it kind of looks like a thought explosion, like just, 1,000 ideas at once. Granted, it's all just a bunch of canoes.
The rumor that the commission was paid for using tuition funds has been put to rest. Landmark's External Affairs Coordinator Nick Noble says that a percentage of capital costs of new construction goes to Landmark's projects like this one, none of which came from tuition funds. The Point on Rio Grande apartment complex delayed their move-in date for leaseholders for a fifth time. The apartment was slated to open back in August and pushed their move-in dates multiple times throughout the fall semester and now January. Management says they hope to be open no later than January 31st. Students have been given free rent at Dobie, but say making the multiple accommodations has not been easy. Some new progress was made on the Graduate Business Building this past winter break. In a few weeks, the block of 20th and Whitus was closed off to pedestrians for construction. Businesses like Players and Schlotzky's were lost of space for the new building. Since March 2013, the building project has received approximately $65 million in gifts from Macomb's business alumni to go towards construction of Rolling Hall. The new building is set to open in summer 2017.
Today, an asteroid the size of a small mountain is projected to pass 745,000 miles above Austin. Discovered in 2004, asteroid number BL86 will be the closest known asteroid to ever approach Earth. Luckily, that distance is about 3 times the distance between Earth and the Moon. The giant space rock should be visible across North America through telescopes and binoculars. A new grocery store will be coming soon to West Campus. Fresh Plus Hometown Groceries will be opening on the corner of 24th Street and San Gabriel. We asked students around the West Campus area how it will be to have a bigger grocery store closer to home.
My hope is that they'll have all the things that we used to have at the co-op market store that used to have on Guadalupe.
We do live in West Campus, and from my experience, that convenience is always usually paid for, especially in the sense of the supermarket where you have the availability to more items.
It's like hard to go out and just drive around Austin because I mean we do have the second worst city for traffic in America.
It takes a lot out of your day to try and go to like H-E-B or Walmart, and to have one so close by really works out.
Yeah, no, I think it's really nice because I mean again, I live like right above it pretty much, you know, for like certain little things.
It'll definitely save me gas money. It'll make it a lot easier to get groceries. I'll just, you know, walk over there because I live pretty close to there. So I think it'd be really nice, and a lot of UT students would benefit from that.
We are in the dog days of winter now, and some days it seems like you wouldn't even be able to tell.
Our Maryville Santiago is live in the Weather Center with this week's weather.
Last week we had cold temperatures and mixed with sunny days, and this week we'll see a similar pattern. I'll have more on your forecast after the break.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. The east coast of the United States is buckling down for what many are saying is the blizzard of 2015. Thousands of flights and hundreds of schools were closed today as the region expected to see winds up to 55 miles per hour and 3 feet of snow blanketing the streets. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has declared a state of emergency. While the cold curses parts of the U.S., here in Austin, expect to see nice cool days up to the midweek. Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday highs 70s. There'll be a slight wind at around 5 miles per hour for the 3 days, so it might feel a little cooler than the highs throughout these days. Nights will remain chilly with temperatures in the 50s to low 40s, so keep an eye out for that. Also keep a lookout for the end of the week as temperature highs will drop on Friday in the high 50s, dropping no more to the mid 40s at night. If you put your umbrella away this past weekend, I suggest you bring it back out at the end of this coming weekend, as we will have a 60% chance of rain on Saturday and a 40% chance on Sunday. Also, don't forget the heavy coats as highs remain around the mid-50s and lows as down as the 30s will be in effect. Enjoy these wonderful and beautiful weekdays ahead because those stormy days will be pouring down on us once again this weekend. Live in the Weather Center, Maryville Santiago, KVR News.
All right, thanks, Marybelle.
College Press Box will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Brooks Scabina. After months of rivalries, upsets, and debates, the first college football playoff teams have been chosen. Alabama, coming in ranked first, will face number 4 Ohio State, and number 2 Oregon will take on number 3 Florida State. Notably missing from these matchups, though, were 2 impressive Big 12 teams. With Baylor and TCU passed over in the decision, Bears coach Art Briles said the Big 12 region wasn't represented in the committee. The playoff committee emphasized that the lack of a Big 12 championship game put the teams behind. The Longhorns, however, will travel to Houston on December 29th for the Texas Bowl against Arkansas.
The atmosphere was full of excitement at the Frank Irwin Center this past Saturday, but the game didn't go as planned for the Longhorns. Forward Jonathan Holmes said the team did not fulfill the things they had practiced for this game against Kansas.
Mostly just execute on offense and defend them and limit their second chance points, take care of the ball. And we didn't really execute on offense like we wanted to.
Guard Isaiah Taylor says the team could have taken better advantage of the size that they have on the court by getting center Cam Ridley the ball.
Just not getting Cam, we didn't get Cam the ball early on. He said he only took 4 shots here. We need to get Cam the ball more. We know that he's a pain presence in the inside, and that's something that we got to get better at.
Though Isaiah Taylor had 23 points, Texas could not respond in the second half. Coach Rick Barnes said the team needs better guard play to compete with top teams such as Kansas.
We should be creating more offense with our defense than we are. We should be the ones getting out in the open court, and we're not doing enough because our guards aren't, they're giving up too much out there. They're letting their, again, we stood around way too much. And what's got to happen with our guards on offense too, they got to play when they don't have the ball. Barnes said this team needs to work on remembering each detail that goes into winning. Because I think it gets back to understanding your role, knowing what we need out of that role every single game and not from one game to the next. And so we can, that's how you create an identity. And right now, I would say that we're not quite sure of that.
Tierra Newbaum, College Press Box.
There was a lot of expectation going into that game against Kansas and a big bum rush leading in if you were part of the students that got in on that. But certainly a game that was a lot of expectation, and here are some highlights from that game. And Steve Patterson wanted a good environment. He got it with Bevo coming from the top of the stands, and they went off right away with a 3-pointer from Jonathan Holmes to take a 3-0 lead. Holmes again putting up a layup to go up 8-0 on an 8-0 run. Then at 8-2, Isaiah Taylor passed to Connor Lambert for 3. Now they're up 11-2. Jonathan Holmes passes to Isaiah Taylor. Running jumper, good. And they're up 13-8. And then a big block from Miles Turner. Javon Felix takes it down, passes it off, and up to an alley-oop for Cam Ridley, a big athletic play from the big man. Now Isaiah Taylor doing what he does well, running hook, and in for Isaiah Taylor. And DeMarcus Holland passes out to Turner, fadeaway shot, and Texas up 42-38. Now out to Holmes for 3 and nails it. And a big lead for Texas, up 4. Things look pretty nice. Then they hand it off to Cliff Alexander for that. And the chalk is a-rockin'. Holmes put in a dunk for 51-48. And then here comes Jamari Traylor giving it a Cliffhanger Alexander. And Kansas won 75-62 over the Bebos.
A loss is always tough, but I definitely think that this game showed Texas's potential.
Sure. I mean, whenever you look at this game, Texas, after losing to Kentucky earlier in the season, dropping those 2 Big 12 games leading into this one, there was a little of doubt from Texas fans about whether this would be a team that could knock off a team like Kansas. Kansas lost to Iowa State, but maybe there'd be a way to get over that. But Kansas was a better team that night, clearly.
Thank you, Brooks. Okay, up next, Cassie Pollack has your entertainment news tonight. What's going on in the entertainment world, Cassie?
Actors collected their Screen Actors Guild Awards, a new Miss Universe was crowned, and interesting business tweets from Jimmy Kimmel. I'll have more on that after the break.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. The 21st Annual SAG Awards were held last night in Los Angeles. At this award show, actors choose who wins the award. Birdman took home the top prize for Best Performance, and following in the footsteps of the Golden Globes, Eddie Redmayne, Patricia Arquette, J.K. Simmons, and Julianne Moore all won for their performances in their respective movies. The big wins on the TV side had people buzzing. ABC's How to Get Away with Murder actress Viola Davis was extremely thankful for her Outstanding Female Actor award. Another actress who seemed to be completely stunned by her win was Uzo Aduba. Her role as Crazy Eyes in Orange is the New Black got her a win in the Outstanding Performance in a Comedy Series category. The Netflix original also won for Outstanding Performance in a Comedy Series, ending the streak of ABC's Modern Family. Paulina Vega has been crowned Miss Universe 2015. The Colombian beauty queen came in first place out of 88 contestants from across the globe. The misses are ranked based on a swimsuit and evening gown competition, as well as a Q&A round for the top 5 finalists. First runner-up went to Miss USA, Nia Sanchez. As the new Miss Universe, Vega has won not only a flashy new crown, but a 1-year contract with the Miss Universe organization to travel and bring awareness to issues. Late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel is coming to Austin to cover South by Southwest. Kimmel posted a tweet offering local Austin businesses a chance at a free commercial featuring himself and actor Matthew McConaughey. It didn't take long for ATX businesses to try to win over this talk show legend. What will it take to lure Kimmel? He hinted to the Associated Press that he'll be the guy in Austin covered in barbecue sauce. Kimmel will also bring his late-night talk show to Austin for the week of South by. The Long Center has confirmed that Kimmel will be filming 5 shows there beginning March 10th. That's all for our entertainment news tonight. Back to you.
Thanks, Cassie, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Vasquez.
And I'm David Nally. For news and weather updates throughout the break, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great night and a wonderful winter break.